Hey guys, this is my AEP 800 Modular 5 Barriers to Web 2.0. This is Eric Cooper. I started by going through a couple of the articles that we read. The first one, The Digital Divide. Some interesting things I found in that one was in 2016, the survey showed that 77% of people in America had smartphones, yet only 73% had broadband using data on the smartphones, which as educators, we need to keep that in mind that that's saying almost 1/4 of our students do not have access to broadband, depending on where you teach at. There was a bill passed, signed by Trump and the 48 senators, that they would give $20 billion to help with this. Some of the article went on to say that that has not happened yet. Also, schools are using devices, but for some students can't access internet at home. That goes with the 73% with broadband. The other article, or the next article, is barriers to using Web 2.0. Some of the things that affect why we're not getting the internet or Wi-Fi at home is funding, also support from administration, and then the support at home, mainly Wi-Fi ability. 7 common barriers that obstruct technology. I think these are right on, because part of it's we don't have a strong plan of implementation. We've all seen that without a plan, a lot of things just don't go as we hope. Changing teachers' role. Again, with technology, the teachers have to change. The kids like technology. They're good at technology, and sometimes the teachers aren't. And so we have to figure out how to become better, and also how to use that in the classroom effectively. Another thing is the lack of money to invest into the technology. Funding's been tight, and so not a lot of money has been able to go directly towards the technology thing. They're spending money elsewhere, which makes sense. But if we're gonna become a technology literate society, we need to spend some money in it. Also, changing from regular hardback textbooks to digital textbooks. Again, that kind of goes with the teachers and the teachers' roles. The open education resources. I thought this was very interesting, where there's a website or a place we can go and grab material from that's free to grab our curriculum. That seems pretty interesting to me. With free materials that are quality and we're able to use. We have a lot of stuff on our school that's like living documents, like they're talking about, we all have access to, and we can change it as we go. And most hardback books, well, all hardback books are static. They were written and things have changed, but you're not going to change it. A textbook where you can change an open source. The next question is, can the divide be resolved? I don't know. I hope so. How can it be resolved? Some ideas were funding, obviously, and Trump and the senators passed the bill. If we can get that, or if they can get that to work, and the funding, and bring Wi-Fi to the houses that aren't able to do so, that would be huge. But we have to be able to have the kids work from home. So one of the things our school is we do Chromebooks. Chromebooks are nice because if we give them an assignment, they can go home and use the docs or the spreadsheets or whatnot. And when they get back to a Wi-Fi base, whether that's something local in their area or to school, then it connects and saves it. So that's good and bad on that. As teachers, we have to be adaptable to that. If we give an assignment that has to be researched, there's it could be up to 1/4 of our kids that aren't able to do that at home. So we have to be able to adapt and either allow all the research to be done at school, give them the resources, but we have to be aware of that. We just can't give all kids the same assignment. That's just not possible for some. I was talking to our special education teacher, and she said that sometimes on the computers, having multiple tabs where the kids have to click back and forth between tabs is very difficult for some kids. And so, they focus on one, and then they go to a different tab where they're going to write the report or create a slide. They just kind of lose what they learned, and it's difficult. So we need to be able to help kids in that. So I say train, but I mean teach the teachers, or train the teachers on how to work with our students on that. So I hope it's resolved, but it's going to be difficult. The skill set for the 21st century students prior to graduation, some of the things that I think they need to have is some type of word processing of some kind. I don't know what that necessarily looks like. Be able to use our computers effectively, use the technology at their hands. My daughter the other day wrote a whole paper on her cell phone with her thumbs, so that's different, but it worked. Um, Knowledge of data entry. Yeah, don't know what their jobs are going to be, but we need to be able to do data entry, spreadsheets, slides, docs, be able to at least have a background in any of that. The main thing is research abilities, and we Google all the time at our school, but not everything that not everything that pops up is accurate. We need to be able to differentiate between what's accurate and what is just not. What's the global economy had on myself? Well, for school, our district uses teachers pay teachers a lot to where we get information from to help with the classroom. Personally, we do all of our grocery shopping online and just pick up. And same as with eBay. And then if it's something that we want the next day, Amazon Prime, it's there the next day. So it's had a big impact on our lives. My wife pays all our bills online, all our accounting. I don't know the last time I went to the bank, even to cash a check. We just take a picture of the check and it goes to our account. So technology has affected our lives a lot. What training do you still need? Well, for the classroom, I teach math, and math is, in my opinion, very difficult to find resources for. We just do a lot of paper pencil, show your work, make sure we get on the right steps. So I know there's things out there that we can work on, and being able to attend math conferences, communicate with others. I know a lot of our teachers and myself are on Twitter, to where we can, basically ask a question, go to a Twitter feed, I suppose, and be involved in that aspect of things to try to figure out some more information. Then also, we do have the tools. We need to figure out how to use them. Is your school equipped for the 21st century? I think we're doing really well. We have been one-to-one, some type of device for at least the last 5 years. We started with iPads, where every kid had an iPad. Prior to that, we had the classroom sets, but then we went one-to-one iPad for a couple of years. And math-wise, those were awesome. But it wasn't so good for our typing, our language arts, or research. It was just very difficult. And then we found that we couldn't firewall as much, and they were getting on the games, and they were worried about that. So our school district actually went to Chromebooks. So now, from sixth grade to high school, every kid has a Chromebook. As for the teachers, we also have a Chromebook. We have a desktop. We have iPads. We have every classroom has a ceiling-mounted projector. I just use a whiteboard as what I project on, but some have screens, and others are starting to get TVs in their classrooms where we can Chromecast to. So that'll be changing here. So I think we do a really nice job on equipping our students and our staff. Advantage of innovating practices in school. Okay, some of the things that we're doing, that also what we would like to work on is kids working with technology from elementary school on. When they start working with it at home as well as at school, they're not scared of it, and they can teach the teachers a whole lot. And then that's just what they're used to. We have a class where we 3D print things. They develop it. They use the coding systems and then plug it into the computer, and then out comes a 3D printing of it. So kids really enjoy that class. It's usually pretty full. We're starting a makerspace. Next year we'll have the makerspace set up, and that's going to be our robotics. And then we have our robotics class this year. Went to a competition where they had to direct a robot around a maze and pick up something. So that'll be in one of the makerspace places as well. And again, they're just by teaching and working with, they're not afraid of it. They learn to deal with mistakes. They're okay with making mistakes, and then we teach them to adapt and not do the same thing again. What disadvantage do you see? Well, what we're finding right now is research is lacking. Everything they see on the internet's the truth. So we ask them to research. One of our social studies projects this year is research a country, and everything that they just type in the country and what comes up, boom, they're going with it, and that's not accurate. So we're trying to teach them some resources or some research methods. It forces some to make choices at home. As I'm talking parents-wise, what we try to encourage all the kids to use Wi-Fi at home. Well, yet some don't have Wi-Fi, so some some parents have struggled with that, but are trying to get in their home. But what are they giving up? So that's something I have a problem with. Well, with technology comes problems. So when it doesn't work, then what? So we have classes that are so driven around technology, but then when our internet goes down or something needs to be backed up, we have a downtime. We have to figure out what's next, and it's hard for kids to go from a technology-based classroom to just a lecture hall. Um, and some of the things that we get frustrated with sometimes is everybody's chasing the newest toy. We have some things that work really well, and then we've tried some things that, because some other school district's successful with it, that we think we need to jump into, and we're just kind of chasing like I said, the newest toy and not really getting what we needed out of it. Do we have a problem with cyberbullying and inappropriate use? Absolutely, we do. I'd be interested to visit a school that does not have this problem. When you're dealing with as much technology as we have in the middle school, high school, we have the social media apps, just like everybody else with Instagram or Snapchat, especially where it goes away. That we have the bullying going on or inappropriate use. Is it happening at school? Our high school allows cell phones and all kinds of things in their room. The middle school does not. Doesn't mean it's not happening in locker rooms or hallways when we're not looking. So yes, we have that problem. Inappropriate searches on Google. Our firewall catches that all the time. And then the kids get suspended or their Chromebooks taken away, which then how would he use in the classroom? So we're trying to figure out a better way. But yes, we have a lot of inappropriate searches. Not a lot, but we have inappropriate searches on Google. Our tech people do a really nice job of monitoring with the firewalls. And what happens is if it's an inappropriate site that they're on, it locks their screen. And then it sends a notification to them. So then that's when our principal gets involved. We've had it lock up where it wasn't an inappropriate site, and they were trying to research something, and it just went to a different site. So typing in the wrong word or Google something that's inappropriate, but they weren't meaning to. But it does lock them out, and then we have to have that discussion. So yes, it's a problem. I don't know how it's going to be solved, but we're doing a good job of trying to monitor.